Hey guys, this is Larilyn with House of Coty. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on a faux leather skirt. The first thing I did was make the pattern. Here I'm laying the pattern out. This is the actual front side of the pattern, and I always start with a muslin to check the fit. Here's a glimpse into my first fall sewing project for me. I've got the back portion of the skirt. It's going to be faux leather. Oh, so lovely. 2 back pieces, waistbands are cut, and of course, the beautiful draped front design. Can't wait to put this together, guys. Keep watching. Okay, so I'm starting with the back of the skirt. I have center back here. I have the 1-inch seam allowance for my zipper, and I've marked that all the way down. I'm going to do a basting stitch from here until about 8 to 9 inches down of where my zipper is going to be, and then I'll continue stitching all the way down. It's a basting stitch on this industrial. Sometimes you have to hold the fabric, so I'm going to go a little bit more. Okay, and there's no need to back stitch here, it's just basted. So here's a quick peek of where I've basted from the waistband all the way down to the zipper, and then sewn all the way down to the end here. So I'm simply sewing a center zipper here. I'm using the clips again because of the faux leather. I want to minimize the number of holes in the fabric that your typical pins would do. And I have my zipper allowance folded back here, as you can see, and I've got the right side of the zipper against the right side of the zipper allowance, and I'm going to stitch down this side, and then I'm going to flip and stitch down this side here, and then I'll determine how that fit is once I try it on. And if the fit is good, typically I baste it first. And then if the fit is good, I'll go ahead and just finalize it with my regular stitch allowance. Okay, so I've stitched down one side, I flipped it, and now I'm going to continue stitching down this other side. So there's a glimpse of my center zipper. I have everything basted here. So there's a peek of my center back zipper. I have everything sewn in here. I've got my top stitching done, and I'll be ready for sewing the front to the back at the side seams and waistband, lining, and hem, and we'll be done. Okay, so now I'm going to stitch the front to the back at the side seams. So I have this side pinned. If you see my pins, I only have it within the seam allowance, and it stops right here. So I won't see those holes in the fabric itself. And I have the same thing on this side. But if you can use pins, I had about 50 of these at one point, and I've misplaced probably at least a half of them. So anyway, get as many pins as you can. So that's the next step. We're going to sew down the side seams. Okay, so I'm using my Juki 1181N. This is the industrial machine, if I hadn't mentioned that at the beginning of the video. But I'm using it to actually do some top stitching to my side seam. So I'll try to see if you could get a little glimpse back there of the top stitching. Not sure if you could really see that, but I'm basically taking 1/8 of an inch from the seam, and I'm just stitching down the seam here. So I'll let you see that in a few. So guys, if I haven't already said how much I absolutely love this Juki 1181N and how it top stitches, you can see it for yourself. It's awesome perfection. Well, as they say, slow fashion is high fashion. Keep watching. So I'm moving on to the waistband. I have 2 of the back waistband pieces cut and I have one of the front that was cut on the fold. I'm going to place these right sides together, starting at the back of the zipper, taking it all the way around and attaching to the opposite side of the zipper. And I'm going to stitch that at my regular 1/2 inch seam allowance that my pattern calls for. Okay, so here is my waistband. I have it turned in 1/2 of the width. My pattern called for a fold line there. So I folded that in. I've got the pins clipped here. And at this point, I'm gonna do a little top stitching all around. It's a little wrinkled throughout here because again, I did a little pleated detail here on this skirt, but again, it's put together all the same as a regular skirt. So I'm gonna do some top stitching, put the lining in, and I will share my finished skirt. At this point, you just wanna finish the hem, and my hem will be a little different because I will have a lining that's a little shorter, so you don't really need a lining, but again, I chose to do that because the vinyl or this faux leather really wasn't, I don't think it was the heaviest, you know, of weight, but I think it's come out really, really cute, and it fits really well. This is the back view of the skirt so far here. That's where the zipper is in the back and the back waistband. So I'm gonna do some top stitching and share the final results. Keep watching. Okay, so I wanted to go with something that's a little heavier weight, and I have this chocolate brown stretch corduroy style material here, and I've got it pinned right sides together all around the faux leather, all around the skirt, and I'm going to stitch my 1/2 inch seam allowance all around, so it's attached to the top of the waistband. At this point, you want to secure the waistband portion to the lining. So I've basically stitched down about, I guess about 1/2 inch from the original seam down all around. And to give you an idea of what that looks like, you can kind of see over here. So that's going to secure the waistband down on the inside, and you'll have a little top stitching on the top. So this is the vent from the inside, and that's the vent from the outside. So I'll flip it over so you can actually see what that looks like back here as well. So I'm definitely pleased. I'm going to work on the hem at this point, and I'll be done. And there you have it, a beautiful tailored hem on faux leather. Gorgeous top stitching. Just a beautiful finish.